Okay, so we're going to leave our clouds where they are. We're not trying to finish them now. We have at least 2 more layers to go. In fact, we may have 3 more layers to go. Yeah, there's a 4th. We go up to a 4th stage, and we will work on those clouds each stage, just like we did in Module C on the pheasant and some of our other lessons. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to take my 3 round. That's kind of an all-purpose brush for me. It's just a little bit bigger than a liner, and it's still a small brush. You can make it into a small flat by wetting it and flattening it out, and you can bring it to a nice point, and it's more substantial than a liner. It gives me more weight, where liners kind of flop around on me. So the next thing we're going to do is take our 2 lighter gray values, and we're going to do these steps. Let's see. I think I'm going to use the mid gray right in through here, and then go into some lighter through there. That's the way it looks on our picture, first stage picture 6. But at the same time, this is the dark side and this is our light side, so maybe I'll just reverse that, because it looks darker to me here, but that might be because there's some shading upon there. So let's do it that way. Let's do it according to the rules that we know. So I'm going to start then with my light gray, value 8, and I'm going to start over in the on this left side, and we're going to put it on the side of the posts, and we're going to keep it, let's see, we're going to keep the light on the left side of the posts. Now it suggests to use a 4 filbert, and you can do that. You can use the chisel edge of that 4 filbert, but I just have really found that I have a lot of good luck using this number 3 round. So we're just going to go all the way through here. And highlight these posts on the left side. You can make some parts of this wider than others. Make some slim, some wider. You know, you don't want it little soldiers. Okay, now I'm going to kind of stop where I'm at, and I'm going to wipe this brush. Then I'm going to go into gray 6. I'm going to step down 2 values, because we're starting to get over here to where it's more shadowed. Okay, and use your picture. Get your gates in there. And continue on to the end of your surface. Okay? Not so hard. And now we're going to start working on the form of the windmill. And as you can see, it's sort of a beige color. So we'll create the form of it, and we're going to keep the highlight on this left side. It is a cylinder, so we're going to blend in our values, light, medium, and dark, to create this form. I'm going to work wet and wet, and so I'm going to wet this down with our extender, think I'm going to get a little more than that on my brush. This is the time where you can correct your windmill if you didn't make it vertical. I did do that earlier. We're going to leave some texture behind. It's an old brick building and it's okay. We don't want refined blending here. So let's use raw umber and medium beige. I'm going to go for a flat. Could also use an angle if you prefer, but I'm going to go for a flat here. I don't use a flat too often, but I want precise edges on this, so that's why I'm going to go with that. So first I'm going to put on a base coat of the medium beige. Now if you can think of a better way, or a way that you feel more comfortable in doing this, please do, because Nadine does not give us specific directions. She assumes that we know how to do this, as well we should by the end of Module D. Also, it's very important to just use a little bit, because we still want the transparency, we still want to see those undertones. So I'm going to lay that in there. Go down here too, even where the balcony is. I'm going to come back and put another layer on. Now this is more opaque, but you can still see that undertone, and that's what we want. So what I'm doing is putting two very thin layers on and increasing the opacity, but still leaving it thin enough that you can see the underneath. And I think probably we might want to do the roof too. I'm going to do it, and if that's wrong, then later we'll just redo it. Okay, so I'm going to dip into some raw umber, just a little bit on the edge of my brush. And I need more paint on my brush, so I'm going to put more medium beige and then a little more raw umber. There we go. I want to make sure that you're seeing what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm going to start here now. Since I've got this raw umber on my brush, I'm going to start here over on this side where it's darker. And I'm going to put one more coat on there. Okay, now I'm not going to rinse my brush, I'm just going to wipe it. And I'm going to put raw umber on it. And then I'm going to come over here and blend this dark value into our medium value that we put on there, and I'm just going to pull it out a little bit, and I'm going to take a soft mop and spread that so that we don't have any hard lines, and do the same thing down here. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to come back with more burnt umber right here on the edge. Just going to lay it in there, and then I'm going to use my mop to kind of pull it out a little bit, but not as far as the first layer. Okay, let me pull that first layer out a little farther. Okay, and then let's continue. So now we've got our medium and our dark and our darkest in. Now I am going to rinse my brush. Now I'm going to go back to medium white, and I'm going to put a little warm white on there. Brush mix it on my palette, and I'm going to come over to this side and start pulling this direction. I'm not going to go all the way over to the dark because I don't want to lose my mid value. Correct your outside line, make sure that that's precise. Okay, do the same for this balcony area, and then come down here. Okay, I'm going to take this mop and lay that in. Then pinch wipe my brush, don't clean it. Then I'm going to just go into warm white alone, very little bit, come back here and just put this lightest highlight right here on this edge, not going as far as we did with the previous highlight, and then just soften those lines as well. Okay, so now you've got your form in for your windmill. Oops. Start to fix that dark area with some light. That won't work. And then if you feel like you have some areas where you need more dark, come back and do them. If you've dried down to a point where you might be pulling the paint, and I almost did on that one, then dry it and come back with the extender and darken your darks. And I'm just gonna, like I said, we need, texture is good, so I'm just gonna kind of pat some of this around. Okay, we'll let that dry down now and then evaluate it.